Dear students, today I am going to talk about renewable energy resources. This portion is in the first unit of the course Energy Physics. The course code of this course is PHY bar PHS 1555. First, let us see the outline of today's presentation. We can see what is energy, what are the needs for energy, and what are the different forms of energy, different types of energy resources, and also we can see the difference between renewable and non-renewable energy resources, and the need and the aspect of renewable energy, and also we can see how this renewable energy is related to the economy of any nation, and let us see some of the renewable energy resources and its applications. So first we can see what is energy. As we all know, energy is the capacity to do any work, and it is the scalar quantity. It is abstract and cannot be perceived, but it can be measured. The energy can exist in many different forms, but it can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy is essential for all living organisms. It is the currency of civilization. It is directly related to the development of any nation. Energy is an indicator of development. And we all know that sun is the ultimate source of all the energy available on earth. So first we can see the different forms of energy. So the different forms are radiation energy, that is the energy from the electromagnetic as well as the gravitational radiation. And the electrical energy is the energy produced by the movement of electrons. And the atomic energy is the energy produced by the fission or fusion of nucleus. So it is also called nuclear energy. And the mechanical energy is the energy produced by the mechanical work, and sound energy, it is the energy produced by the mechanical vibrations of the particles. And finally, the chemical energy, it is the energy produced by combustion reaction of chemical substances. So this picture actually gives a clear idea about the different forms of energy. Normally, the total energy of any system is sum of the kinetic energy and its potential energy. Kinetic energy is nothing, the energy that comes from the movement, and the potential energy is the energy that is stored for later use. So, under this kinetic energy, the mechanical energy, the electrical energy, the thermal energy, the radiant energy, and sound energy are coming. And under the potential energy, that is the energy stored for later use, in that potential energy, actually the chemical energy, the nuclear energy, and gravitational energy and elastic energy are coming. So this picture, this graph shows the importance of energy. So as we all know, the energy is the indicator of the currency of civilization, and it is directly related to the development of any nation, because worldwide there is a growing need of energy resources. So developed countries like USA, Canada, and Germany and other countries, their GDP is very high, and the consumption of energy is also very high. GDP is nothing but the gross domestic product. GDP is important to assess the uh, mm, uh, economic condition of any nation. So the energy production is more in the nations. The utility of energy is very greater than the other nations. So here the graph shows the consumption of energy is increased by 85% for each 5 years. So the energy is very important, and the efficient production of energy should be considered for sustainable development, because as the energy production increases, the pollution also increases. This will affect the environment. Therefore, we should have the efficient production of energy technologies. So to produce efficient means and clear route for energy, different energy resources are being used. Here is the a major classification of energy resources. The energy resources can be classified as renewable and non-renewable. And renewable energy source, from where this renewable energy sources is obtained. Any sustainable energy source that comes from natural environment repeatedly and can be harnessed for human benefit, that is called renewable energy. And the energy that is obtained from static stores of energy that remains bound unless released by human interaction, that is non-renewable energy. The ultimate source of most of the energy is from sun. That is the ultimate source of all the renewable energies are from sun or gravity and the earth's rotation. And the energy is initially an isolation energy potential, and the external action is required to initiate the supply of energy for practical purpose. So now we can see what is non-renewable energy sources of energy. The sources which have accumulated in nature over a long time, they are called non-renewable sources of energy. It takes millions of years for these resources to develop inside the earth, and it cannot be replaced very quickly, and these non-renewable sources are getting exhausted fastly. These non-renewable sources can also be called as conventional sources or commercial sources. Now we can see the aspects of renewable sources of energy. So if these renewable sources can exist perpetually and in abundant in the environment, and they are ready to be harnessed and inexhaustible. They are freely available and are free of cost. They do not pollute the environment, and it is a clean alternative to the fossil fuel. They can be replenished constantly. These are some of the aspects of renewable sources of energy. And here are the classifications of renewable energy sources. They are hydro energy, wind energy, solar energy, biomass energy, and geothermal energy. So why do we need renewable energy? So this renewable energy, because uh, as we have seen earlier, worldwide there is a need for energy, but the fossil fuels are limited because fossil fuels are depleting, and so they are limited. And uh, because of this fossil fuel, actually carbon emission is happening, and it will pollute the environment. Because of the pollution, climatic changes occurs, and environment is getting damaged. And because of these things, there is a instability in the economy, and also it is affecting the public. So we are moving towards the renewable energy. So renewable, when we are using this renewable energy resources, we should have certain questions in our mind. Any fundamental shift in technology is going to raise the concern about the economic impact, that is technology. So and also we should think about the people employed in the existing technology sectors, whether they will be affected, they will lose the job. All these things we should have consider. And will this new technology require jobs overall? And how will we train the next generation to use this new technology? And what will be the economic impact on the local economy? So, and also the final thing, how will the global market be affected by this disruptive technology, and whether this is risky for the individual, businesses, and the country to invest in this technology, or if it fails. All these things we should have we should consider, because when we are shifting to the new technology, this will affect the environment positively or negatively. So with this we can come to the next part, that is now we are going to study about one of the most important renewable energy resources, that is the sun, solar energy. Solar energy can be used in a direct form or in an indirect form. Solar energy is nothing but the radiant heat and light from the sun. It has been harnessed for space and water heating, and also there are different technologies are contributed to capture the solar energy, because the solar energy that we are receiving on the Earth's atmosphere is highly diluted. So by absorbing the solar energy using solar collectors, and also by photovoltaic cells, the electricity can also be generated. And by using concentrating solar collectors or parabolic mirrors that will heat it up the water to several thousand degrees, and this can be used to generate the electricity. So in all these ways the solar energy is being used. Here you can see how solar thermal power plant is being operating. And say the solar field, actually these are the solar panels, and these solar panels are absorbing the solar energy, and here it is being converted into stream, and this stream is making the turbine to rotate, and there is the generator is connected to it, and the generator generate electricity. This is actually the block diagram of how electricity is generated from solar power. And this is a solar thermal collector. It is nothing but the heating system, solar heating system that is being used in our homes. See, this is the solar panel, and cool water, the cold water is being inletted into the uh, geyser, and the water, cool water is flowing through this panel, and it is being heated up, and the hot water is coming to the upper part of the geyser. In this way it is being used. Next we can see what is photovoltaic effect. Photovoltaic effect, that is the generation of voltage across the PN junction in a semiconductor due to the absorption of light radiation that is called photovoltaic effect. And the device that is used in this effect is called photovoltaic devices. And now you can see how a solar cell is being used. The sun's radiation, that is light, or it is a photon, is being used in this solar cells, and it is converting it into the electricity. So here you can see the diode. There is a positive and a negative layers are there, that is called p type and n type, and there in between there is a depletion layer. And this diode, actually this p-n junction diode, is generating electricity from the solar radiation. And here I have listed some of the solar energy applications. So heating and cooling of a residential building, and solar water heating, solar drying for agriculture and animal products, salt production by evaporation of seawater, solar cookers, solar engines for water pumping, solar refrigeration, solar electrical power generation, solar photovoltaic cells, which can be used for electricity generation, and solar furnaces. Here also some of the major applications I have listed. Solar pumps are used for water supply and domestic power supply for applications including refrigeration, washing machine, television, and lighting purposes. And ocean navigation aid. The solar energy is also used as a ocean navigation aid. Number of lighthouses, and most they are powered by solar cells. And telecommunication systems like radio transistors, receivers, and in the mountain they are powered by the solar cells. And also electric power generation in space to provide the electrical power to satellites in an orbit around the earth. Like this, the solar energy is very much useful, and it is not polluting the environment. And so the government has to take steps to utilize this renewable energy resources in the coming future. Thank you.